I'm Dion Giannarelli, and this is Cooking with Dion Giannarelli. Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with me, Dion Giannarelli. I hope everyone is well and staying safe and staying at home. Today, I'm bringing you a recipe which my great-grandmother, Nonna Rosina, taught us how to make. I want to dedicate this episode to my great-grandmother, Nonna Rosina, and in Italian, we say Biz Nonna, which means great-grandmother. So what you're going to need to do is I've pre-chopped a couple things here. We've got a quarter of a celery, diced roughly, put the leaves in there, that's all very well and good. 2 carrots, roughly chopped, 2 onions, and just chop them up, very much like that. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab 3 Roman tomatoes, and we're just gonna dice those Roman tomatoes up very roughly. Doesn't have to be anything special. Once you got to this point, I've gone and purchased 3 chicken carcasses. I'm doing mine in a pressure cooker. If you at home don't have a pressure cooker, you can put it in a pot and just put it on the stove. But we'll get back to that once we get rocking. So we're gonna put the carcasses in here, put all the tomatoes, put everything just inside like this, the carrots, the celery. On top of this, we're gonna have to put 3 to 4 cups of water. Now it all depends on the size of the pot, but you sort of want it so it just sort of covers it. Okay, now that we've gotten to this point and we've filled up the water, we're gonna grab some salt. Now, be generous. That's it. Generous amount of salt and just sort of tap that down there. So, what we've done now is we've filled that all up. We've got the salt in there. We're gonna put the lid back on the pressure cooker. I'm gonna now turn this on and it's gonna cook for around 2 to 3 hours. The longer you leave it, the better at the end of the day. Part 2 of Nonna Rosina's Brodo is something that we add to it once it's cooked. What these are grana padano, little cheese balls. Now they're probably the size of a marble. Now I get this cheese here, which is the best stuff in town, grana padano in the tin, from Lamana and Sons in South Yarra. They provide the best. I highly recommend you using this cheese. But if you don't, you can use normal pumpkin cheese as well, but it must be finely grated. So we're gonna get 500 grams, which is roughly a half a tin of this. All right, move that aside. Now we're just gonna break a little area open in the middle, and we need 1 egg. So 1 egg per 500 grams. So if you make more, 2 eggs per kilo, and so on. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna slowly mix the egg into the parmesan until you almost get like a doughy sensation. It is so easy, but the flavor when this goes into the soup is just unbelievable. You should get it to this sort of consistency. You're just gonna slowly break away a little piece. You're gonna start rolling out these little cheese balls, which are just going to be a burst of flavour in the soup. I mean, it is just, it's amazing. Okay, I've been working very hard here, rolling all my balls out. Have a look how beautiful these balls look. Now, this is, as I said, no bigger than a little marble. Before we start, I'm going to introduce you to someone who's going to help me take this recipe home. The person who gave birth to me, Tony Giannarelli. Mum, come on in!
Hi, Dee.
Hi, Mum.
How are you? Gorgeous.
Oh, that's a bit weird, Mum. Apparently I've got gorgeous balls. If anyone's seen them, she has. So anyway, right, now, Mum, what are we going to do with my balls here?
Well, I think we have to fry these balls, Dee.
We're going to fry my balls.
We're going to fry Dion's balls.
All right, Mum. So what we've done is we've put so we've got the oil boiling, vegetable oil in a pan, right? So now we're just going to take this over here. Don't just throw them all in, otherwise they'll stick together. So we're going to go one at a time. Just throw them in like that. And we're going to start flipping them, and they're going to come to a beautiful golden colour. Not golden brown, golden. So remember, right, when the balls are in the oil, you can't let them touch, otherwise you cannot separate them. So my suggestion is do 5, 6 at a time. You have to be working it just like Mum is. Nonna Rosina, she always used to do this for us. So it was a little bit of an added bonus. And what we used to add, what she used to add, I should say, to the brodo is a little bit of pastina. All I've done is brought some pastina and I have just boiled it up. So just this very little fine, very, very fine sort of pastina. Now we've had our brodo brewing in the pressure cooker for around 3 hours. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Now we've drained, we've got all the chicken carcass, the tomatoes, the carrot, and the celery all out. So we're just gonna strain that completely out. And what you should have is just a beautiful
Clear broth.
clear broth like that. Have a look. Geez, Nonna Rosina be proud of us. What do you reckon?
She's looking down and she's very proud of
Yes, I think so. Okay, so Mum, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the bowl. Not too much.
No.
That's it. That's enough pastina there. We'll add a couple of these cheese balls on the top. Okay, so now we've got our pastina, our brodo, and our cheese balls in. Here it is here, and this is what it should look like. Now, Mum, go on.
Okay.
Give it a try.
I will do that for you.
Have one of the cheese balls.
Just like Nonna used to make.
And that's what I was trying to achieve tonight, and I hope you can achieve what my Nonna was doing for us, bringing us love not from her body, but through food. And that's what food is all about love. Nonna, wherever you are in this world, this is for you. Cheers.
Cheers, Nick.